All right. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Skill Set Sunday. So, ayan, this is another part of Becoming the Ideal Engineer series, in which sa Skill Set Sunday, we will discuss various skills that we need for us to become the ideal engineer. So, ayan, medyo straightforward din naman yung uh, title natin. So, for the first episode, I have decided that we will go to a broad one. Medyo broad yung skill na aaral natin ngayon. But it will serve us well. It will serve us well in the field of engineering. And it is how to approach open-ended problems. Okay? So without further ado, let us begin. So first, let us define what is an open-ended problem. Okay? So an open-ended problem is a problem that doesn't have a single clear solution or step-by-step method. So, unlike dun sa na-encounter natin sa school, where in which we are given problems na merong direct answer na hinahanap, sa open-ended problem, it is more on, it is compared dun sa ating mga close-ended problems sa school, it is more abstract, ano? Since sometimes you may have to tailor to the needs of the client or whatever stuff you need to fix. So, ganun. Ganun yung open-ended problem. And dito minsan talaga nagkakaroon ng major struggle yung mga modern engineers. Even though na, ito ay napapractice na sa school actually. In the form of yung sa ating mga researches as well as yung thesis or dissertations for that matter. And so, as we can see here, uh, this is what I mean by an open-ended problem, which means that there is no definite path towards the answer. You can take multiple paths, but ultimately, meron lang isang path or path na matatawag natin na efficient, or it could be the shortcut uh, using that analogy. So, yun yung shortcut para marating natin yung ideal path na tinatahak natin in solving problems in engineering or in general. Okay? So, ayun, why the skill must be mastered. So, ito yung mga following reasons why is that real world problems are messy. So, yun pa lang. Uh, dun sa na-encounter natin na problems in our major subjects, it's not quite the same in real life since medyo unique yung mga na-encounter ng working engineers na. And it may come as a culture shock sa atin if we start working on the field. Although we will have the experience to do so when we are already professionals. No? And ito, you often won't be given a formula or full data, and it also requires critical thinking, creativity, and decision making. So, ayun. Yan. So, to explain this further, I have designed a six-step approach on how we can deal with yung ating open-ended problems. So, starting with yung ating first step, so I made a kind of a diagram here, and it is a step-down approach. So, we're like getting to the bottom of it. So, parang yun yung meaning niya. So, para lang siyang research actually, but this time more practical. So, for the first step, we have to define the problem. So, pretty self-explanatory. You need to have a topic that you will uh, uncover. You need to have a problem that you will solve. So, for the second step is that we have to research and gather data. So, ayun, para lang tayo nagko-conduct ng research dito. And we have to gather data in such a way na makikater natin yung ano yung nasa problem. Okay? And then for the third step, we have to break it into smaller parts. So especially dun sa other aspects ng engineering. So hindi lang naman siya all about mechanical. There's still other aspects of engineering we have to consider. So ayun, since halimbawa sa machine, hindi lang naman siya merong mechanical aspect, it also has an electrical aspect and all that other stuff na i-specialize ng ating mga engineers. Now, for the next step, we have to brainstorm possible solutions. So based on what we have researched, we need to think of yung mga solutions na pwede nating i-apply. Tapos, you have to evaluate and choose, obviously, since not all solutions are as effective as one another. May solution na masyadong mahal or it could be very time consuming, and meron namang mga solutions na swak lang, it is cost effective and also not that much time consuming. So doon natin i-base yun. So parang ganun. And for the last step, we have to test, refine, and iterate. So by iterate, just it literally means just to repeat. Ano? So itatest natin yung mga solutions natin, and if it works, then that's good. We may have to refine it in other ways, but ultimately, ito na yung last step dito, and that is the 6-step approach for dealing with open-ended problems. So ayan. So to illustrate this further, to further explicate kung ano yung sinasabi ko dito, let's have a sample problem here. Okay? So a machine in your workshop keeps overheating after only 30 minutes of use. What can you do to prevent it? So ayun. Makikita pa lang natin sa problem, there are no numerical values except for the time involved. So unlike sa ating major subjects where we are given yung mga values, yung other variables and such, dito, we're pretty much on our own. So we have to figure it out on our own. So ayun yung isang hurdle sa engineering when we go to the professional scene. So ayun. So apply natin dito actually yung ating 6-step approach. Yan. So for the first step, we have to define the problem. So ayun, naka-state na naman. So it's pretty easy to find it. So overheating machine after only 30 minutes of use. So ayun, yun na yung pinaka-problem doon. So which is a sign of low efficiency. Dahil kapag mostly overheating yung machine, ibig sabihin mas marami yung work na napupunta into the machine or into the surroundings that could affect the condition of the machine. So it is a hypothetical machine, so it could be any machine in the workshop. So we're just illustrating an example. So for the second step, we have to research and gather data. So based on the problem, we may have to do the following. So dito is we have to observe the machine while running, and also we have to collect temperature readings, check manuals for thermal limits, and talk to technicians or operators. So yun nga, importante din yung communication skills natin. So I have said that a while ago that yung pagkaroon ng proper communication skills can lead to better results in solving problems. Since we're mostly doing a fix, mas nakakaalam yung mga technicians or operators ng said machine, and we can ask them for yung design or yung processes involved in the machine. Okay, now we break it down. So ayun nga, as what I have said earlier, may mga different aspects of the machine kung paano siya nagana. So isa na doon yung electrical, the mechanical, and of course the thermal, which is yung main problem here. So ayun, we have to brainstorm now for the first step. And yun nga, merong notable na possible solutions dito, in which first we have to improve the ventilation. So it is a possible solution. We could add cooling fans or whatnot, or pwedeng magkaroon ng slight alteration sa design ng machine to have it para ma-improve yung kanyang ventilation, since yun nga, improper ventilation is one of the reasons kung bakit most of yung mga machines natin ay go overheat. So halimbawa, you have a laptop and medyo hindi okay yung ventilation sa room mo. So the ambient temperature is not really uh, cooling the laptop enough, so it might overheat and it might slow down. So that's just one example. So for the second step, or the second solution rather, is that we can lubricate yung moving parts. So minsan yung nai-stuck na parts sa machine, let's say mga gears, when it produces too much friction, yun nga, nag-overheat since yun nga, friction produces heat. And also, we could reduce the load. So this falls into the electrical aspect ng machine. So minsan kaya siya nag-overheat dahil sobrang marami ng load yung machine, and the current might be too much for the resistors to handle. So that's another way to approach it. Ano? And of course, we have to replace faulty components whenever they appear. So, ayun nga, kaya natin i-observe yung machine is to look for faulty components that could affect its performance. No? So, these are some examples that we can do. Yan. Now, we have to evaluate and choose. For this one, I have considered 4 reasons on, or 4 factors in choosing a solution, which is yung cost, yung time, the effectiveness, and the ease of implementation. So you can make various stuff on paano nyo siya i-evaluate. You can make diagrams, mind maps, or you can even make yung mga tables. Yeah, tables could work in evaluating yung matrix ng inyong paghahanap in which solution is the most effective in all of these terms. So, ayan. And finally, for the last step, we have to test and iterate. Ano? So we have to apply and test the solutions and observe if the problem is fixed. If it works, it's done. If not, it is worth revisiting previous ideas. So, ayan. We know that not all the time, yung hindi naman natin nakukuha minsan yung fix on the first try. And ayun nga, that's why we gain experience through it. And engineering is not really supposed to be sure. It's not really about getting the right answer, but it's about applying what works. Ano? So, so even though we might fail sometimes, that's fine. We just have to come back stronger and reapply yung mga ideas na na-consider natin, or even make new ones. Okay? So, ayan, before we end this episode, so we have a quote here by Henry Petrosky. Science is about knowing, engineering is about doing. So ayan, that is primarily the jobs of engineers. So, yun nga, since mostly nasa theory pa din tayo and yung mga nag-a-apply mismo is yung mga engineering technology, but still, we ourselves know it better than most people do. So, some of the responsibility may fall into us in making things happen. So, ayun, I hope you have learned something today about sa ating skills at Sunday. So I hope it has rekindled your mind, or your approach in engineering, ano. And nga, thank you guys for listening. So bukas meron tayong Math Monday. So stay tuned for that. And if that's all, thank you guys and goodbye. Happy learning.